Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You are knowing what you're wanting? Yes. An expanding thing, yes. You are enjoying your part in the expansion of all that is. You get the important part that you play. That here you are, leading edge creators out here sifting and sorting. How are you doing with that? Well, it's not difficult to define what you want when you are surrounded by opportunities to discover it. Isn't that right? And can't you often feel desire being born within you? Isn't that a fresh, good feeling? It's life. It's fulfillment of your reason for being. It's the best feeling there is, really, when a new desire or idea hatches. So we're going to talk today about what that really is. In other words, how is it that life causes you to focus? Best word ever. Focus. Focus. You can't help but do that, can you? You are always focused upon something. Often not what your parents think you should be focused upon. But there is always focus going on, isn't there? And as that focus occurs, there's a accompanying focus that's happening in the same moment, because you know you're never out here by yourself. You are an extension of so much more, and that so much more is always focused with you. Always focused with you in this moment and this one and this one and this one. So as these two perspectives, two? I thought it was just me. Well, it is you. It is you and all that you are. It's you in your physical form, focusing, listening here, having the conversation that you're having, doing whatever it is that you're doing. Certainly it is you, but there's another part of you that is focusing too. And when you are really blended with that other part of you, that larger part of you, that soul source, God force part of you, you feel the empowerment of that. You feel clarity. You feel certainty. You feel confidence and sure. You feel eagerness and passion. You're frisky. But if you are focused with a differing opinion in any moment in time than the source within you is holding about what you're focused upon, now that's the interesting thing, isn't it? It's about what you're focused upon. Your source within you has a perspective. Opinion may not be your favorite word, but it is a perspective, a knowingness, an understanding, an opinion. So when you're having a conversation, from whatever perspective you're having it, you might be not confident, you might be unsure of yourself, you might be being critical in the moment, you might be seeing lack of some kind. But the source within you is having an accompanying opinion in that same moment, and you can feel how in alignment you are with the opinion of source or not. Your emotions tell you that. If you feel love, you're right in sync. If you feel anger, you're not. Or fear, you're not. So Abraham, are you saying that no matter what, source always feels confidence? Yeah. Not just confidence in general, specific confidence about where you stand right here, right now. Are you saying that source always feels love? Do you know who I'm talking to right now? Or about? Can't be right, Abraham. Can't be right. I saw a CNN poll, and I'm pretty sure. Nobody likes that guy. And you're saying that whenever I feel negative emotion, that it always means 100% of the time when I feel negative emotion, that my opinion is in some sort of vibrational variance from that of source? Yes. Don't you want to know that? Well, you want to know that if you want to be in alignment with source. And you might not want to be in alignment with source, because source always loves, and you might be mad at that person. Source always knows that in the end it will turn out well, and you might not be in agreement with that. But it is our desire to awaken within you today that confident knowledge that you have an opinion from broader perspective that is really worth paying attention to. Because when you do that, when you sync with it, when you tune to it, you have the leverage of the energy that creates worlds. Now you are the creator that you were born to be. So over time, we have offered different analogies to help you sort of understand all of this, because it's not an easy thing to be such an excellent translator of vibration here in a physical world that feels real. It's tangible. I can feel it and see it and hear it and smell it. I can taste it. I know that it's real. Abraham, what are you talking about vibrations for? This is a reality. I don't need a sensor to tell me about vibration. I can pretty much see what's going on around me. And we say you're much more sensing beings than you give yourself credit. And you are all communicating much more vibrationally than you are verbally. Even here in this room today, that will be the case. You are all vibrational beings. And the source within you is a pure vibration to which you seek alignment. So here's how it works. Before you came into this physical body, you were non-physical energy. And the larger part of you still is non-physical energy. A part of you came into this body and is exploring, knowing what you don't want, and therefore knowing what you do want. And every time you have any kind of exposure, whether it's dramatic or slight, to any circumstance that causes you to come to a focused opinion, it happens to you all day, every day, about what you would prefer, even if you don't speak words, you are sending out rockets of desire, rockets of preferences. This would be better. This would be better. This would be better. I would like that more. More. The expanding universe is dependent upon the moreness that you are discovering. It's why you're here. It's why you are here in this leading edge time-space reality, the best that it's ever been, still seeking more. Still looking for a new thought, a new idea, a new combination of things, a new way of going about it, a new, higher, better feeling, more love, more well-being, more exhilaration, more expansion. It's what you're all about. So as life gives you those opportunities to know that, those vibrations emanate from you. You often don't even know that they have, except that while it's happening, you feel higher than you usually do. It's always exhilarating as you launch a vibration. But often you've launched it, but immediately you turn to the absence of what you want. And you begin explaining that you want that more because you've got this less. So without meaning to, you launch a vibration, but you don't keep up to speed with it. But here's the part we really are getting at here. The source within you does get up and keep up to speed with it and maintain the frequency of that which you've asked for. So it's a vibrational touchstone. It's a vibrational guiding light. It's a vibrational reality, a vibrational reality that as you find vibrational equivalency with it, as you get up to speed with it, first you'll feel better and better and better, but you can't get up to speed with it without it then manifesting in your experience. In other words, if you want things and you feel really good about it and you feel consistently really good about it, it's not long at all before it must manifest in your experience. So the way we've been wanting to make this more tangible for you is we've been explaining that each rocket of desire that shoots out of you is held by your inner being in this, what we've been calling a vortex of creation. And some people, it's hard for them to get their thoughts around something that they can't see. But we want you to begin to feel the reality of this vibrational reality, this vortex of creation. And it is our promise to you that all things that you want are vibrationally there. There is a vibrational reality that precedes every manifested reality. So then we want you to understand that once it is launched, and it is all day, every day, you've got a vortex that as you allow it to fill in manifestation, in actualization, in realization, as you let these things that are vibrational be then translated into your experience in what you would call my real life reality. So what is the process that allows those things that are just ideas, just wanted ideas, what brings them into manifestation? Well, what brings them there is you must prepare your vibrational vicinity, which means you and what you're thinking about, what you're talking about, how you're feeling. You've got to prepare the vicinity so that it matches what's going on in the vortex. For a while we said, you got to get in the vortex. You got to get in the vortex. You just got to bring yourself up to speed and the vortex will bring you in. And that is really the way that it is. But it might be easier for you to understand that the preparation is yours to make. In other words, you got to chill out. You got to stop beating the drum of what's missing, or it will continue to be missing. Because the whole time you're beating the drum of, I don't have enough money, or my lover hasn't come yet, or I don't have this, or this opportunity isn't presenting itself to me. I feel that I'm on the verge, but it doesn't quite ever come home to me. As long as you're beating the drum like that, you're holding yourself in vibrational opposition to the very things that you're asking for. So you and what you want are not showing up at the same place at the same time. So we want to call your attention to your point of attraction. We could even say to your point of allowance. And we want to pose the question to you. We've not stated it to you before in this way. What do I need to do standing in my physical body to allow all of this vibrational reality that apparently, Abraham says, I've been creating for a long time? It's where all the things I want exist. What do I have to do so that those wanted things can come to me in tangible, manifested form? I appreciate, Abraham, you're telling me that they're there. But until I can see them and hear them and smell them and taste them and touch them, I'm not that excited about them. So what do I have to do so that I get the reality that I'm seeking? And we say, you have to prepare yourself vibrationally. You have to stop feeling the absence of it more than the presence of it, or the presence of it can't come. You have to find a way to stop beating the drum of the absence of it, which in simple terms means you got to stop being so specific about what isn't coming and more general about why you want it. And if you'll train yourself into that less specific opposing vibration, then it will come. Does that make sense to you? People who are watching me are watching in amazement. Who are you? They say. How is it that you barely express your desire for something and someone walks up with you to a very clear-cut path for the receiving of it? And you say, I am the keeper of my promise to the source within me. I said, I'll go forth and sift and sort, and I will carve out lanes of expansion for all of us. And the source within me said, and I will follow the track of your desire, and I will hold to the frequency of that, and I will send a signal that is so bright about that that you can't miss it. Because you will always feel emotion around something that matters to you. The guidance will always be there. Strong emotion indicates it really matters. Strong negative emotion means I'm off the track. Strong positive emotion means I'm on the track. We think your guidance system is perfect, and we think you have been playing it out in a perfect way. We think that the world that is before you is a very bright world. We think the world that is here right now is just exactly right. We think that you are the creator of your own experience, and we think that right now, this very moment, you know that in a more vivid way than you've ever known it before. The second thing that we think that you have gathered from this is that, at least it's what we would have wanted to take away from it if we were standing in your physical shoes. Contrast, every bit of it, is a good thing. And when I stand in a place that didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to, or even I thought maybe it should have, that rather than beating up on myself about the incompletion of this desire, instead, I'm going to take this contrast as the exact thing that it is, more information for meaningful expansion, because it means there's something in my vortex that this new contrast is going to help me to sort out. You're the creator of your experience. You are not a regurgitator. You're not a puppet on a string. You are the creator of your experience. Do you get that? And don't you want the information with which to create? And don't you like the support that we all provide once you've carved it out? Don't you really like it that there's someone that says, well, you've forgotten, but you really, really want this. And you've forgotten this, but you really, really want this too. And you might have forgotten about that, but in the 3rd grade, you decided that you really, really wanted that. And you really, really want this, and you want this, and you want this, and you want this, and it's all here. And it all is in harmony with itself. In other words, there's nothing that's in your vortex that's out of character or out of vibrational alignment with everything.